France has always been a progressive leader in the world stage. Throughout its history, from the French Revolution to French philosophers to the creation of the European Union, France has been at the forefront of social innovation. However, in the past decade, we have seen a very confused France. A France that sometimes takes shots at Germany or the United States or other European allies, to a France that in many ways looks lost and confused on what is role in the international stage and what position they want to lean. In this video, we're going to analyze what this potentially means for France and what can we expect in the future to happen in France. But first, I want to disclose that this is extremely an educational video made with research and empirical evidence. In addition, nothing mentioned in this video is made to insult French people, but made to critique the French government, especially Macron's foreign policy and international relations approach. Macron, which in many ways is a Trump-like leader, has been shifting French foreign policy in a more realist kind of matter. Meaning that in many ways French foreign policy has become a black and white game in which either you provide a benefit to France or you don't. This sounds good on paper, however, countless research has been done on the negatives of having a realist international relations approach. In fact, France under Macron has lost a lot of international respect. Remember the famous political joke, how there is infinite amount of treaties of Paris? There is a reason why we have so many treaties of Paris. This is because Paris and French culture in general has stood for the West as a progressive liberal with democratic value place. However, this is not how France is seen anymore. In many ways, France is suffering from what we call in political science insecurities of realism. That is to say that when a state becomes insecure in the international system, they are more bound to compete with their neighbors for international power. They're also more likely to work among non-allied countries in order to get advantage in the international system. However, in many ways this is backfiring. France has been slammed with critiques from the West for their pro-Chinese language and their skepticism of the European Union. However, as we have seen in the past few months, this is something that Macron is trying to backtrack as more and more people take the streets of France and more attention is given to Poland as a reliable ally. French people, similarly to American people, are going through an identity crisis. This is to say that politicians in those countries have been pushing for narrative that every problem they have is due to immigrants and globalism. However, this is far from the truth, and most people within France and the United States can see through this lie. However, the small minority who is believing that most of France's problems are because of mass immigration is very loud. This is creating a social problem between France and its fellow neighbors, like Germany and the Nordic countries, which have allowed immigrants to enter the countries and have been more welcoming towards refugees. This social problem is further decreasing French international leverage, as a country that is unstable from the inside can reflect its power on the international stage. The only way to fix this is either finding common grounds or stop the mass radicalization between left and right governments. There is plenty of books and research done about this extreme radicalization we're seeing in the Western world. But research has shown time and time again that political radicalization is the single biggest threat to Western society. It's not Russia, it's not China, it's our own politicians and their use of ordinary people for political leverage. This is the problem that Macron and his Macronism politics are amplifying. However, as we have been seeing, the French people are not allowing this to happen. In fact, Macron's approval rate has been extremely low for the past year, and his party has been scoring low in the polls. But the single biggest factor for French decline of importance in the world stage is Macron's push for less dependency on the United States and the European Union. And while this is not a bad thing, it's not bad for your country to decrease reliance on another state, what is bad about this is the manner Macron has been doing so. If you want to decrease the dependency of France from the US, do it, but don't go on the media and visit China while campaigning for a decrease in dependency on the United States. Swings in foreign policy or big shifts in foreign policy values are the biggest threat to a country's power in the international stage. No one is going to respect a country with low compliance or low respect for its allies. Remember, states are run by political actors, and political actors act rationally, or act with the information they have about other states. If you create mistrust and your allies see this, it's more likely that your leverage in negotiation tables decreases, since your allies won't know at what extent you will comply with them. Another example of Macron's foreign policy swings and low compliance with his allies is his continued criticism of Germany's proposals of connecting gas lines from Germany to those in Spain. France is trying to force leverage since they know if Germany needs electricity or gas, they can't get it from Russia and they can't get it from Spain, so the only viable option they have is to go through France. And this will increase French power status in the European Union. However, it's not working. While not everything is bad, and there's definitely some other good things Macron has been doing in the foreign diplomacy world, this video was made to critique his latest actions, especially those after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and how Germany, Poland, and many European allies have been dealing with Macron's inability to conduct good foreign policy. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like political science and international relations content, subscribe to the channel. I make similar videos every week.